السلام عليكم. Welcome back to another episode of Quran in English. My name is Ahmed, and I am happy to take you on to the last 11 verses of chapter Yusuf, chapter 12 of the Quran, Yusuf. So very, very beautiful story. It was very fantastic. And now we kind of see the appendix, the post story at the end of it all. Why was it said? Why was it mentioned? Why did we bring it up? And it's going to be a very short episode because it's only 11 verses. But before we get into it, I must always explain that I am not a Quranic scholar nor an Arabic linguist. I have not studied the Quran nor have I studied the Arabic language. I'm merely undergoing a journey to discover the Quran and share my understanding with you in the hopes that you might learn something. But if you see something different, please let me know because I'm also learning. The point of this channel is education. Okay, let's dive right in. So we must always say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, and off we go.
رب قد آتيتني من الملك وعلمتني من تأويل الأحاديث فاطر السماوات والأرض أنت وليي في الدنيا والآخرة توفني مسلما وألحقني بالصالحين.
Now this is, it's powerful, it's somber, it's also heavy. So at the end of Yusuf's story, he went through trials and tribulations, he suffered a lot, and then he was rewarded with a lot of kingdom and a lot of rule. And he says at the end of it all, my Lord God, indeed you have given me of sovereignty, ownership, authority, and you have taught me from the interpretation of events, the interpretation of dreams in some senses, but like given him wisdom and understanding and some knowledge that was different. So God has blessed him with authority, with sovereignty, and with the ability to understand events and dreams. And then he says, God that is the creator of the heavens and the earth, you are my guardian, my protector in this world and in the hereafter. And then he says something very powerful. He says, cause me to die as a Muslim and join me with the righteous. Which is like, what do you give to the man that has everything? What do you give to the man that has achieved his life goals, has survived, has thrived, has grown? He just wants death, and he wants to die as a good man, which is very interesting. And it's very powerful. Sophia and Alone, I'll do a chit chat at the end of it all. But blessed Friday to you too. My day's been good. I hope your day's been good. But I just need to get through these verses at the moment. And the reason why this is like somber and heavy, because I'm sure this expression, caused me to die as a Muslim and join me with the righteous, is a message that can resonate with a lot of people. And here it's given at the end of Yusuf, Joseph's life, when he survived the trials and tribulations, had faith of God. He didn't ask for death before. It was at the end of it all, after he survived all the trials and tribulation, when his life was good and everything was good, and at the end of all, and his family was saved and everybody was together and it was happily ever after. That's when he asked for death. So it's not asking for death for escape from life. It's just saying that I've done my duty, I've survived, I've done what I need to do. Please allow me to join the righteous and allow the righteous to join me too. It's kind of just a raw, raw claim. And it's one that I can resonate with. Tawaffani. Allow me to die as a Muslim, cause me to die. It's a powerful statement. Definitely relatable.
ذلك من أنباء الغيب نوحيه إليك وما كنت لديهم إذ أجمعوا أمرهم وهم يمكرون.
And now we kind of see why this is being revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, why the story was included, and not just this story, but for the past couple of chapters we've been talking about, from Yunus, Hud, and Yusuf, have all been about messengers. And it says that is from the news of the unseen that we reveal to you. And again, when it says reveal to you, this is being revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. And you were not with them when they were put together, when they put together the plan, or while they were plotting. So he's given knowledge of people that plotted against messengers, of what was happening behind closed doors, what was happening on the other side of things. And we were given insights and clarity even though he wasn't there. And there's a lesson in all of this.
وما أكثر الناس ولو حرصت بمؤمنين.
This is a very interesting expression. It says, and most people, most of humans, are not believers. Most humans are not believers, even though you desire or you try, no matter how keen you are. Most people are not desirous, which is interesting because, I mean, we've been looking at the concept of believers versus non-believers, and that there seems to be a clear separation between the two, right? And there's nothing you can do to make a non-believer a believer, and that sometimes in this chapter we saw non-believers become believers. So if they become believers, it's to their own accord, but you can't influence anybody else. And here it's saying most people, most of humans, are non-believers. And most people will not believe no matter how keen you are. Which is confusing to me. Because if we look at the population of Muslims, it's like 1.9 billion. The population of Christians is 2.5 billion. That feels like most people, doesn't it? Or is that by name only? And they are not actually believers. It's very interesting. The concept of, is the majority of humans believers or non-believers? And according to this, it seems to be that most, meaning more than half, أكثر الناس ولو حرصت وما بمؤمنين. Something to think about. Interesting.
وما تسألهم عليه من أجر إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين.
And this is directed to the Prophet Muhammad, but again, I have this belief that there will be a messenger after the Prophet Muhammad because of the way that the Quran is phrased. So it feels like this is instruction as well to them. And do not ask them for any reward. Indeed, it is only a reminder to the worlds. But this is like, it wasn't just to the Prophet Muhammad, it was also to all the prophets before him, all the messengers before him. All of them said, I'm not asking for any money for the message, I'm not asking for any reward. It is just my job to remind the world, to give you the truth.
وكأي من آية في السماوات والأرض يمرون عليها وهم عنها معرضون.
I always relate to this specific. Okay, you're gonna do this to me. All right. I relate to this specific verse because I used to be very much that person, and I kind of still am. You know, it's not like I've changed. But it says, and how many of our signs from the heavens and the earth that they pass by over it while they are turning away from it. And essentially, what is it saying? It's saying, if you look at the stars, the universe, the way that the world is perfectly created, the way that it synchronizes and the heavenly bodies are in one place and the stars and the earth, if you look at all of them coming together in a beautiful designed pattern, most people will turn away. And I've always struggled with this statement because I have never gotten to the conclusion that God is real because of what I see from the universe around me. But me specifically, the way that I work is I'm not at awe of like nature and like going to like mountains and valleys and seeing beautiful scenes of wondrous nature that take your breath away. I've never been amazed by what I see around me. I'm very much a thought-driven individual. And the only way that I got to God is through crisis, through hitting my rock bottom, through losing the love of my life, you know? So I get it that how many signs are there in the heavens and the earth that they pass by while they're turning away from it. But I also get why they turn away from it, because like it doesn't, for me, it didn't resonate with me. But for others, it does. For some people, they go like, obviously there has to be a God based off of what's happening. So it does work for some people. Just for me, this argument was never one that I resonated with.
وما يؤمن أكثرهم بالله إلا وهم مشركون.
And most of them do not believe in God except while they are associating partners with Him. Who is it? I guess it's still talking about most people, right? And most people don't believe in God except for associating partners with Him. Which I think kind of makes sense. Like believing in God and believing in others is bad. Which I've seen a lot of people do. And also there's always the question of why do Christians believe that Jesus is God, even though Jesus didn't say He was God? That's associating partners with Him. But here's the funny thing about Jesus. He's not God, obviously. According to the Quran, it's very direct and very obvious He's not God. However, He is the Messiah. Now what does that mean? We're not sure. The Quran also says before the end of time, people will believe in Him. So I think Jesus has a bigger role to play than the quote-unquote Muslims believe. But it's less than Him being God, but more than Him just being a messenger. There seems to be something about Jesus, and that we have to believe in Him. But not as a God, but we do have to believe in Him in a specific way. Very interesting. But yeah, most people do not believe in God except while they associate partners with Him. Sure.
أفأمنوا أن تأتيهم غاشية من عذاب الله أو تأتيهم الساعة بغتة وهم لا يشعرون.
And for those most people, do they feel secure that it comes to them? Oh. Yeah. So do they feel secure against that it comes to them an overwhelming of punishment from God? Do they feel secure that a punishment from God is not coming? They feel like, oh, nothing's coming up here. Well, it's not that they feel that. They need to believe in God to feel secure against it. Mostly they don't believe in God. They don't believe the torment's coming. It's not that they feel secure from God's torment, you know? Or do they feel secure that it comes to them the hour suddenly while they do not feel, they do not perceive? I mean, yeah, ignorance is bliss, right? If you don't know something's coming to get you, then you feel secure against it, right? It's a very interesting question because it's rhetorical. Do they feel secure from these things? When the answer is yes, they do feel secure from these things because they don't believe in these things. They don't believe in God's torment. They don't believe in the hour. It's very interesting. While they do not perceive. It's ironically describing them in a rhetorical question. It's rhetorical about its rhetorics. It's wow. It's next level irony. It's very cool. I like it.
قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين.
Now again, this is said to the Prophet, but this is something that I can say that would be true. Say, and if I was to say it, imagine me, Ahmed, saying, this is my way, I invite to God. That's what I'm doing. I'm preaching online, I'm inviting to God. With insight, I and whoever follows me. Yeah, the Quran offers the insight, and whoever follows me is gaining insight from the Quran. Glory be to God, and I am not one of the polytheists. All of these statements true. This is my way. I invite to God with insight, and I follow, and those that follow me. Glory be to Allah. I am not one of the polytheists. Anyone that preaches in the name of God preaches truth, because there's a lot of preachers that have added things that God did not say, have said that this is haram, that's haram, this is forbidden, that's forbidden, and I have a problem with those. Anyone that doesn't have a Quranic reference causes me issue. Yeah. Like I said, the Quran feels like a guidebook for messengers. Anyway.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم من أهل القرى أفلم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبلهم ولدار الآخرة خير للذين اتقوا أفلا تعقلون.
Why are we doing this? Relax. Ah! What? I don't know. Sorry, I find it funny. If you're not having fun, well, anyway, that's side notes. And we did not send from before you except men that we revealed to them from among the people of the township. We only sent people before you inspired to us from amongst the people of each society. Again, this was the 3 last chapters. We're talking about other messengers. And then now here's a question for everybody. So, have they not traveled in the land, in the earth, and seen how was the end of those from before them? This is a question to everyone. And the primary example that comes to mind is always the pharaohs. The pharaohs, not only you have the pyramids that kind of see what they physically built from way back when, but you still have the bodies of the pharaohs in the temples and in the tombs, embalmed in that specific process. Like, they are literally put on display for everyone to see. And I used to think of like, oh, it's so hard to like travel and see these things. It's not that hard to travel to Egypt. It's not that hard to see what is the issue. And you have kind of an example. You also have the Romans as a prior example. And surely the hereafter is the best for those that are mindful. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Will you not understand? Will you not? It's a very interesting question. Do you not understand? Do you not use reason? And it's like, it's hard to use reason to accept that the hereafter is better for us because we have no way of validating or experiencing the hereafter beyond the words that we see. So you have to logically get to the conclusion that heaven is better than earth. And the logical conclusion is based off of what we are reading and what we can see in the world today and what we can validate between what we are reading versus what we can see in the world today. Therefore, we can conclude that the hereafter is... It's only through the belief of the Quran does reason make sense for us to believe that heaven is better than earth. If you don't believe in the Quran, then it doesn't seem logical or seem like within reason. It's very interesting because it's also tough for me to wrap my head around. Like, I believe that heaven is better for me, and I believe that I'm living my life so that I can essentially pass away and go to heaven, because that's all that I want is in heaven. But it's still, my reason has not caught up to it. Right? I believe, I don't know that the hereafter is better for me. My heart knows, but my mind does not. Because my mind has no way of validating. My mind has been trained for 35 years to go use reason, use science, use verifiability. So reason for me is not why I believe in God and why I believe in heaven. My heart is why I believe in God and why I believe in heaven, not my brain. So I'm still أفلا تعقلون. I still don't أعقل, because I'm still not using reason, which is ironic because I believe. It's such a weird juxtaposition. Yeah.
حتى إذا استيأس الرسل وظنوا أنهم قد كذبوا جاءهم نصرنا فنجي من نشاء ولا يرد بأسنا عن القوم المجرمين.
And for me here, this is also kind of the main point of why these stories are being told. Until even if the messengers gave up hope and thought that they were certainly denied, or they were certainly denied help, not saved, that their message wasn't true, and they had given up hope. Our help came to them. And it says, and we saved whom we willed, which is a heavy statement, because a lot of people aren't saved, and it feels like, why aren't you willing those to be saved? But that's, I think, a lesson that for another day. And our punishment cannot be repelled from a people that are criminals. And all I can say to this is Amen. Ameen in Arabic. Please, it is time. Please, send down your punishment, please. And the last verse for today.
لقد كان في قصصهم عبرة لأولي الألباب ما كان حديثا يفترى ولكن تصديق الذي بين يديه وتفصيل كل شيء وهدى ورحمة لقوم يؤمنون.
So thus there is in their stories a lesson for men of understanding. No, for people of understanding, for people of reason. Anyone who reads these stories can gain a lesson, a moral, a lesson. And the moral of Yusuf, for me, it seems pretty clear. Don't give up. Don't despair. Non-believers can become believers. Sometimes the devil leads you down a path, and that path eventually leads to God, because God controls it all. Don't despair. Even in happiness, remember God. Like, there's so many lessons in this one story. And these stories are not just a narration that is made up, but a confirmation to what was before it, and a detailed explanation of all things, and a guidance and a mercy for a people who believe. And again, we often see the link between mercy and belief, and that the only way we believe is through God's mercy. And so the Quran is only a mercy for those that believe. For those that don't believe, they don't receive the mercy. It's such a weird weird way of saying it, but it's very beautiful. Yeah, and that was Surah Yusuf, chapter of Yusuf. I kind of like this format. I kind of like taking a chapter a week. I like this pace. I think for me it's a good pace. I want to try and do a chapter a week and see how well I do that. Let's give it a go. Thanks for watching me. As usual, we always end with Sadaq Allah al-Ali al-Azim. And I appreciate you, and I will catch you probably next Monday. Yeah, we said that we're going to record something on Sunday, which is a discussion of chapter Yusuf. I'll see how Sunday goes, and I'll see if it's an episode that I wish to release. Maybe you guys will see an episode on Sunday. Maybe I'll get back to it on Monday. Either way, thanks for watching. I love you. I appreciate you. السلام.